Now, the issue of racism in South African rugby has resurfaced this week after a group known as the Agency for a New Agenda launched a court bid to stop the national rugby team from flying to England for the upcoming Rugby World Cup. Now, they later dropped the application, but claim that 21 years after apartheid ended, the Springboks are resisting racial transformation and are still too white to represent the nation. Only 9 black players have been named in the 31-man squad. The ANA is still pushing for an investigation into what the judge has agreed is an issue of national interest. Alex Dunham looks at why race matters are still dividing South Africans on and off the field of play.
Eye of the Tiger Rugby Academy defies the norm in South Africa. They're a team made up entirely of black and mixed race players, known here as coloureds. Their passion for rugby is self-evident, but their chances of one day representing their country in the Springbok jersey are slim. They claim sport apartheid lives on in South Africa and that racism is holding them back.
It's very difficult to us as black people to move forward because they don't recognize us.
I think it's unfair. Everybody should get the fair chance. Like Nelson Mandela also said, everybody must be equal, must work together as one.
Mandela used the 1995 Rugby World Cup as a way of bringing black and white together after decades of bitter racial separation under apartheid. The Springboks won the tournament, and this image of Madiba handing the trophy to captain Francois Pienaar has gone down in history as a symbol of peace, reconciliation and racial harmony. But 20 years later, it seems South Africa has stopped using sport as a force for good.
There are people in this country who are trying to keep rugby white, and those people are not acting in the best interests of the sport. There's certain white players that are trusted from the first time they're in the squad. They get an opportunity to start a game and to prove what they're worth. But young black players ride the bench, get overlooked, because there's no trust in those players to meet what the coach is asking of them.
With the Springboks under regular scrutiny for apparently being resistant to change, some disgruntled rugby fans have taken to pointing out the lack of whites in professional and national soccer teams.
Soccer, back in the apartheid regime, was the only thing that us as black people had that we couldn't be controlled. So there's a kind of ownership. It is more difficult for a white player or a coloured player to break through. You have to be more exceptional.
Some would say that one white footballer in a team of 11 is more representative of South African demographics than a couple of black rugby players in a team of 15. Black Africans do, after all, make up around 80% of the country's 53 million people, and many of them see rugby as the last bastion of white supremacy in South Africa.
As long as there is part of the community which forms the greater majority of the people of this country, don't feel great when the Springboks takes the field, we can never have the social cohesion that we are striving towards as South Africans.
That report there by Alex Dunham looking at the race debate surrounding South Africans' love of sport. Well, that is it, though, for Eye on Africa. Stay with us. More coming up after the break.